Hey everybody, welcome right back to the channel, man. Welcome right back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, a lot of stuff happened. College basketball has been really good over the few days during the holidays and stuff like that. And then obviously the NBA Cup finals happened and everything like that. So we'll talk about both those things, talk about the NBA and college basketball in this video. But before we get into everything, welcome back to the channel. My name is Isaiah Austin, right? And welcome back to the IDA Kings video production channel. If you like the videos, please like them. Like the videos if you like them. Comment under the video. Subscribe to the channel if you like the channel. And please hit the bell notification so you know when I post and upload new videos, okay? Now, overall, it's been great. It's been some good stuff happening. The Knicks ended up finding a way to beat the Spurs. It was a real close game. You know, Wemby did some good stuff coming off the bench again like he did the last game. Had like 18. You know, Harper really balled out. Did a lot of great things. Getting in the paint, out the paint, making great shots. He had 21. You know, he did some good job there. Castle did good. You know, Fox had his moments. You know, Spurs overall did some good stuff. Had some really good. A lot of people was averaging double figures. I think the whole starting five had double figures, if I'm not mistaken. And then two players off the bench did. But the Knicks ended up getting a big win, started dominating in that fourth quarter, locked them down, held the Spurs to 19 points. They ended up, I think, having like 35 points in that fourth quarter, and the Knicks did a great job. Brunson had 25. You know, OG had 28. Jordan Clarkson sat there and hooped, came off the bench, was hooping, balling, you know, dominating, like, you know, coming off, giving that spark. And then Karl-Anthony Towns had double-double, I think like 16 and 12, something like that, or 16 and 11 with like 6 of 12 shooting and stuff like that, rebounding real well, shooting, making shots. So overall, the Knicks did a good job and stuff like that. But there, you know, some people got upset with it. Like Charles Barkley said, you know, the NBA Cup is not entertaining, is weak, and it shouldn't be in the NBA for some odd dumb reason. And then I think there was another person, Mad Dog Russo or something like that, said he was disgusted with the celebration. This is the problem, I think, in the NBA. A lot of older people, a lot of older generations disrespect the NBA. But it's been like that forever. In other eras, it's been like that, you know, taking shots at, you know, younger generations of players. They've always done this. It's nothing new. And it's really unwarranted. It's just unwarranted. It's just passed down from generation to generation. You know, I remember, I think players, you know, saying the league was soft in the 80s, 90s, and 70s and stuff like that. Or yeah, 80s, 90s, 2000s was soft. They were saying that. And then all of a sudden now, the 80s, 90s, a little bit of 2000s are saying the 2010s is soft and stuff like that. It's just, in other sports, they don't really do that. No, you have it here and there, but on the NBA does it way more. You know, they suck at it. You know, the NBA is terrible at promoting the game, advertising the game. The players take a dump on it. In other sports, soccer, who has a in-season tournament, championship cup, you don't hear soccer players disrespecting the cup or nothing like that. So the NBA just got to be better, and they got to be really, really better at promoting the game. They got to get some of these old dudes up out of here announcing. They're not respecting the game. They're not advertising the game. They're not doing their job. You know, they're coming in and saying that they're holding players accountable, but they're forgetting what they used to do, right? I remember one time Isaiah Thomas sat there and got on LeBron for with basically no one in the gym almost, sat there and was warming up with no shirt on, talking about it's unprofessional. But Isaiah Thomas, shout out to the legendary Isaiah Thomas, is one of the most unprofessional guys in history of the sport of basketball. I mean, but that's the reason, right? And it was unfair how they treat him for the Dream Team. They did, but a lot of people didn't like Isaiah Thomas, right? And a lot of people love him today, which they should, but back in the day, they didn't love him. Just like they didn't love Kobe, right? They really didn't. And it's just the truth, right? We could give a history lesson, but it's the truth. So disrespecting people for doing things that y'all did or did way worse is unacceptable and unbelievable. So, I mean, the NBA just got to be better, man. Charles Barkley taking shots, Shaq, they're out of shape. They were out of shape. They were playing like they play now in terms of soft. not playing defense, things of that nature, man. It's always been in every era. They just forget they forget their history, man. They really do. But I shout out to the Knicks, man. They did a great job. I think it was a great idea, brought the regular season back to life. And really that started because a lot of people didn't take the regular season seriously because the people advertising the game didn't take the regular season seriously, talking about championships, this, that, and the third. Listen, man, it's hard to win championships in anything. It's hard to win at the highest level in any profession. So you need to advertise the regular season, advertise the process. Okay? In sports, they advertise the process is a big deal. And some of it's because they have less games. Some of it is because of the advertising is actually better. You have other people in sports trying to take shots at basketball, but I guarantee you when you got people in certain sports taking shots at other athletes and other sports, they're not going to go for it. You know what I mean? They do it to NFL players. The NFL players are going to unify and try not to let that happen, right? Hockey, they'll sit there and get mad when people talk crazy about their sport, but they want to jump in and talk crazy about the NBA. It's unbelievable stuff that's happening, man. And we got to cut that out and we got to check that, man, in my opinion on that. But overall, I love how the Knicks played. I thought the Spurs did good, but they struggled in that fourth quarter, right? The NBA, you already know, I think is in a great spot, man. I think the NBA is trying to get players to play. Here's the thing about that, too. I'm going to say this, too, okay? The NBA has to make sure that they don't let teams sit players for hidden motives. So, for example, right, there are a lot of players who want to play. Most of the players are going to want to play. You're going to have to force them to sit down. Okay? You're going to have to force them to sit down. So, when you got coaches not playing the players, when the players can play, that is on them. That's on the team. Okay? That's not on the player because the player's trying to play. Chris Paul got cut for playing, but also holding the Clippers accountable. He basically got cut for that, right? They had a detriment he was a detriment to the team, all that bull crap, okay? And then, Levine's trying to play, and they're saying he can't play because he's injured, but he's saying he's not injured. So, with Sacramento. So, it's happening. It's been happening. People are sitting players when players are wanting to play. So, you got to get these teams in line and say, listen, I know you don't want these players to get hurt, but if he feel like he can play, we got to try to play him. Okay, and it's real simple. That's how it got to be. In the NFL, they try that too. Now, are there players injured and stuff that not playing? Yeah, but it's harder to do that though in the NFL because there's less games. So let's say Michael Parsons, he got injured. Let's say he got injured. They're a playoff team. They gotta try to force him back as quick as possible because that could affect the whole season. In the NBA, it's a little different because if they get hurt in the beginning, then you can make up for it, try to handle the storm a little bit and make up for it. Baseball the same way. If players get hurt, then it could be different. So, but you got to find a way. If they can play, and they want to play, right? And most of the players want to play in all sports. You got to force them to sit, right? But the team is trying in different ways to sit these players for trade situations, to cut them, whatever, so they can get as much value from them, all that stuff. So the NBA got to crack down on these teams, man, not just the players. And I think they're doing that. They're trying to. They have a 65-game limit of missing games. I don't think teams ain't gonna matter about. They ain't gonna care about that though, because players are. Of course, they want to do that. Of course, they want to get them incentives, the bonuses, them and stuff like that. They want to get their accolades up for Hall of Fame, stuff like that. But the teams ain't gonna care because they want to win championships and they want to bring their aura of the organization there. So the team's not gonna care until it's the end of the regular season. They play championships. So the players, it's like we got to figure out a way to get these owners to stop penny pinching. We got to find a way to get these owners to actually stop playing around, right, and not mess around. And I think allowing and trying to, what I think screwing the NBA is doing these rules that will try to make the league competitive when it really isn't. Okay, what I mean by that is it's actually making the teams worse because you can't sign different players to contracts, even role players to more contracts. You know what I mean? So now you got a draft, which makes sense, but you're trying to get around building super teams, right? So you're not trying to build super teams. That's what the NBA doesn't want for some odd reason. But you are you don't want these players to sign through trades and stuff like that, and free agency, all that. They wanted to do it by trade and all that stuff. In my opinion, man, the super teams have always been around, and they have always been around. Whether it's through a trade, whether it's through free agency, whether it's through the draft, it's always been around. The Thunder about to be a super team. Okay, the Warriors are a super team. Different teams have been super teams throughout history through trades, through draft, through through the free agency. So the super team is going to happen regardless. So I think what screwed them is having this hard cap bull crap happening, and it shouldn't be like that. But overall, man, sorry for the rant, but overall, like, it's been great in the NBA, I think, man. It's been a lot of great teams, a lot of great players playing. Kay Cunningham's been great. LeBron coming back, getting into his own. Luka and Reeves. Reeves is hurt. But Luka and Reeves have been amazing overall. Shea's been amazing. Chet's been good. Different players been good, man. All over. A lot of teams been good. A lot of teams have played well. A lot of teams are showing up. A lot of teams are showing out, things of that nature, man. Different games coming up the next few days, man. You know what I mean? Like Wednesday, man, in the NBA. The Cavs are trying to get back together at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, facing the Bulls, man. And then on NBA TV, the Grizzlies, who's 12-14, are trying to get it in, beat the Timberwolves, who's 17-9, man. A lot of things like that. Thursday, they got some different games coming on. The Clippers, man, they 6-20, man. Holy Christ, playing the Thunder, that's gonna be a nasty nightmare for them. You know what I mean? And I also think they play the Lakers later on this week too. I mean, that's gonna be a nightmare for the Clippers. God rest their soul. Okay, for real. The Magic though is gonna be playing a tough team in the Nuggets on Thursday 9 p.m. They're 15-11. And, they're playing a great team in the Nuggets who's 19-6 with Jokic, who's doing historical things. And he's one of the best centers we've ever seen play basketball. Warriors, play the Suns on that Thursday. Lakers play Utah, things of that nature, man. Rockets are trying to pounce on, the Pelicans, destroy them even more. Raptors are 16-11 trying to get a big win against the Bucks in Milwaukee. Things of that nature. It's coming on, man. The Heat are trying to get back on track too. That's on Thursday. Friday is going to be really crazy. Celtics versus Knicks, Heat. Celtics versus Heat, that rivalry. The 76ers versus the Knicks, that rivalry on Prime Video. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good games. Spurs versus Hawks. The Hawks be competing with these teams, man. Compete with these teams. They can compete with them with the Spurs, man. Rivalry with the Cavs and Bulls. Timberwolves versus the Thunder, man, on Prime Video. Going to be great on Friday. Going to be craziness on Friday. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening these few days, and there's going to be more games. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all that stuff. So overall, it's been great. Overall, the NBA, to me, has been fun. It's been fantastic. It's been amazing. You know what I mean? College basketball has been flat out amazing. College basketball has been amazing as well. Okay? College basketball has been flat out amazing, flat out dominant, okay? Things of that nature. It's been flat out amazing. How college basketball's been, man. Going on over the weekend, been crazy. Saturday, going nuts. You know what I'm saying? So it's been real fun going in there. Like Michigan State was in a close game with Penn State on Saturday. Okay, 76-72. All right, another great game. Texas Tech was getting it in against Arkansas, but Arkansas ended up winning 93-86. Coach Calipari got them ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Been greatness going on in college basketball, man. You know what I'm saying? Purdue destroying Marquette by 20 points. North Carolina putting it up too. They doing a thing up there, and you know what I'm saying? Doing a thing. So, it was a close game. Butler hit a game winner 3. The Providence couldn't get the game winner. It was final 2 overtime. Magic, 113-110, NBA type score. NBA, they would score more. You know what I'm saying? And the holiday hoops giving, man, they call it hoops giving out there. And that one, Georgia ended up beating Cincinnati by 19. I'm telling you, it was greatness on Saturday. It was unbelievable on Saturday, man. Crazy. Florida was hanging in there. Florida ended up beating George Washington by 10 points. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy, man. It was crazy. Crazy games happening. Crazy wild games happening. You know what I mean? Louisville dog walked Memphis 99-73. Nebraska is what, 11-0, 12-0. They have the best start in program history. They ended up beating Illinois 83-80. I mean, greatness, man, right there. I mean, man, seriously, it's been out of control good. Out of control good. I mean, y'all, listen, that's all on Saturday, by the way. It's been wild stuff on Saturday, dude. Been crazy stuff on Saturday. Big crazy stuff on Saturday. How the games have been. Close game with St. Bonaventure in Ohio. Ohio ended up winning in final overtime 88-83 against St. Bonaventure. I mean, man, a great close game. Kansas was this close to losing to NC State on the road. But in final overtime, Kansas State got that 1-point win. NC State missed that shot to win the game. Just flat out craziness. I mean, that was all on a Saturday. That's all on a Saturday, guys. That's all on a Saturday. The NBA is a different breed. Kentucky upset Indiana, ended up winning 72-60 when Dick Vitale and Charles Barkley was having fun talking about the game of basketball. Michigan has been dominant, one of the best teams in the country, ranked top 1 or 2 in the country. Been dominating. That's on Saturday, destroying Maryland 101-83. I mean, man, this was crazy. Basketball has been fire. Ohio State ended up getting a big time 2 double overtime win against West Virginia, 89-88. Close game, man. Just flat out amazing, man. You know, BYU's been dominant the last few games. Okay, BYU been dominant. Their freshmen, it's been crazy good, man. They've been playing. Arizona beat down Alabama 96-75. I mean, my goodness, and Alabama's a great basketball team. Tennessee State beat UNLV. I mean, man, oh my goodness, man. Holy Christ. And then Gonzaga beat UCLA by 10 points, 82-76. Gonzaga's a great basketball team, and UCLA's a good team too. They not no slouches either, man. Big craziness going down out here, man. Big craziness. I mean, college basketball is fun. It's been fun. The games I've been able to watch, I've been a little busy overall, but the games I've been able to watch have been fun, have been entertainment, have been exciting, has been great. I mean, flat out, even in smaller schools like Indiana State beating Milwaukee 70-68 on a Sunday. You know, that was a close game, hard-fought game. You know what I mean? Craziness, man. Crazy good stuff going on, man. Boise State beating St. Mary's, who's a real good basketball team, who'll be competing with Gonzaga when they used to be in the conference together. Boise State ended up getting a win by 1. Washington State lost to USC by a few points. Okay, 68-61. That's on a Sunday. You know, Monday's been great too. Having some really good situations too. Close games, hard-fought games, stuff like that on Monday, you know what I'm saying? You know, Tuesday, you know what I mean? It was close. It was close. Lipscomb versus Duke, it was real close. Duke was down 10 points, but Duke came in, pulled away, and beat them down 97-73. Okay, flat out beat down out there. Okay, Toledo, Michigan State was struggling in terms of turning the ball over, but they wouldn't have no problems. They were beating them down. Beating down Toledo. You know, Tennessee, who had their struggles offensively, you know, getting scores, they dominated Louisville, a top 12 team in the country, 83-62, dominating, man. Crazy work. You know what I'm saying? Crazy work. So that was on a Tuesday. That was last night, while the championship game in college basketball was going down. I mean, championship game in the NBA Cup championship was going down. Dayton destroyed Florida State. Manhandled them 97-69. I couldn't believe it. Dayton was cooking them. South Carolina lost in that rivalry to Clemson 68-61. Man, the greatness on Tuesday, man. Stop playing around. College basketball's been fun. Been real fun, man. It's been amazing. It's been exciting. North Colorado was keeping it close, scoring high with Texas Tech. Texas Tech ended up winning 101-90. Right? It's been real close games. It's been real good, fun games. UConn ended up blowing out Butler. You know, BYU had a great game. Okay. They had 3 players scoring 20-plus points, including their freshman. Flat out amazing. So he's been fantastic. Fantastic. So they've been great. They've been dominant. And so, you know, BYU is one of the great teams. Overall, man, it's been great. College basketball has been fun. College basketball has been amazing. Okay. College basketball has been so good. Okay, I'm really excited about college basketball. The next few games going to be coming up, you know, and stuff like that. The next few days, man, it's going to be great in college basketball. Some more games, college basketball and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just going to be great. It's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be exciting, man. So overall, man, I hope y'all love the video. I hope y'all like the video. It ended up being a longer video, but I hope y'all like it, man. Again, my name is Isaiah Austin. Welcome back to the IDA Kings Video Production channel. And please like, comment, subscribe. And hit the bell notification to let you know when I post and upload new videos if you want to, man, if you enjoy it. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace.